Throwing some shade. Well, it's the coach. This is the 2018 season, and you've got it tuned to EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see LaShawn McCoy coming off a big game a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Chicago Bears taking on the Buffalo Bills. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the home of the Bills since 1973, there's a look at the newly named New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, New York. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. Hello, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They come into this one fresh off a victory that finally snapped a 6-game losing streak.
And there's nothing like that win that makes everyone happier in the locker room, better on the practice field, and they usually play a whole lot better that next game out as well.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'2" QB out of North Carolina, former number 2 overall pick. It's Mitchell Trubisky.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass, he found a way for his team to win.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
You don't want no problems. You don't want no problems
there
with
for
me.
Howard a week ago. 10 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to him early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger games.
Watch 12.
They get fired out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Yeah,
well,
baby.
I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Lock in, lock in.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Come on, gotta go, gotta go. Right, tight end right. Even. 4.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep, and that's caught inside the 30. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Jordan Howard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Parkey adds the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 4 plays, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Hey, we are. All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Running back LaShawn McCoy, and he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Hurry up, here we go.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Watch the run.
Shaquille Barrett.
Here they come, here they come, here they come.
He dumps him for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue
Green.
that there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe go to max protection. The biggest one's maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean.
We got
but in that case, that didn't
down.
happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
All right, here we go.
Gets it to Bellamy outright. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 6 there on first.
Crash.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works a defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space.
Here we go now.
To the outside.
Green 39.
That ball just and they got it done.
To throw, it's Allen. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. A look now at the lineup defensively for Chicago.
Yeah, baby.
They're going to be tough to throw on, no doubt. Currently ranked 3rd in the NFL against the pass.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Tight right. Hurry up, here we go. 319.
He'll get this down only to about the 46. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
You got him.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football. They just swarmed and stopped them. Almost no gain.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now. But the playoffs are we still got some time. And they plan on putting it together. Formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Trubisky to throw on 2nd. Throw left side complete. It's Burton. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago 1st.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
4 down. Lock in. What do you had?
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30.
Yeah, baby.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that.
Gotta go. Eyes on 10. Hurry. Motion.
Counter. got a good gain
We
of
got
7 up to the 37.
Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go.
Second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that in a distant situation, they can still run the football and get enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Looking left side, he's got a man. That's Burton.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
Let's go,
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that.
And they've got it here with a first down.
Hey, gotta go. Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Hey, boys, we got...
And they're going to ground attack here. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish. And then better blockers, find those guys, and get it better.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one, and that'll make it third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right. What do you had, Dad? 4 down. Alert.
And his first carry, he loses the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Anything to make of this, or just a bad stretch? Because he had the 2 fumbles he lost last week, and now a third.
It's a bad stretch, but it's one that he has.
Green 39! Green 39!
Taking care of the ball, tucking it away, keeping it high and tight, all the while doing that and not slowing down his running and his ability to move the ball forward.
Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Here we go now. Green 39!
Right there, gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up third and 10.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island. Now let's go. Blue Liner. Blue Liner.
Throwing his Allen on third. It's caught. Jones. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 17 on that one, and a Bills first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you in the right spot. And they connected well to pick up the first down.
Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
Yeah, baby.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively.
All right, here we go.
It really
Green
does, because
39.
it goes to move the quarterback off his initial spot and gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough.
They'll run it with McCoy.
They're coming. They're coming.
Not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Run.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally.
Left side here, caught by Clay.
Just like that.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
Is that not the very definition of a tough yard game?
Now, is that one where as the receiver you go to your quarterback and say, why'd you even throw that?
Yeah, I think you do, and I think you wonder what type of a route
are you going to send
me on.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
All day, baby.
And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the big seven on defense, that's a good job. Finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that player away. Do you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up and run some plays. Big time tackle. You might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Got it for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. And he floats one there, incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And that takes us from second to third down.
Let's go, let's go.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did.
Here's Trubisky. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. Back to Buffalo after this.
Let's go!
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from
the best multitasker in the business, the coach.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Out comes Zay Jones with the rest of his offense as they take the field. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing a 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention.
39!
And right now,
Green 39!
precision is going on with their offense. It's kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist. You know, good stuff. Got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that timing. Change things up a little bit and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Make them uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. That's caught left side by Bellamy. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a 1st down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
On 1st down. Going to drive this off to McCoy. Complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Tight end right, tight end right. Set! Green 39! Green!
Over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This quarterback now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
From the red zone now. They'll look to go. In about the 5.
SOS.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. It's been all passing all the time on this drive. 5 for 5, and now first and goal.
Feels like a case of until they
Here we
stop
go.
us, we might as well keep running the offense.
Blue
And
90.
because you think you need to.
Go.
He'll get it up the middle.
Leopard!
And they'll bring him
Leopard!
down after just a short pickup. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
3 down.
On second down, here's Allen. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him,
Hurry
a
up,
lot of
here we
times
go.
they fall back on what they know
3-19.
best. They're all open target, but didn't have the proper
Yo, trip
footwork
is
to
here,
increase his
baby.
accuracy.
Yo, trip
And
is
before
here.
this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaunt alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're going to have to work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Tight end right. What do you had?
They'll begin the drive with Howell. And he is going to lose yardage here. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock.
Gotta go.
The drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on
Strong
2nd
right.
and 12.
Strong right.
Hey, gotta go.
3 down. Odd.
What do you had?
Game here with the tailback. And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors.
Here we go.
But overall, I think they wanted to be positive. It's not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Charles, I think sometimes maybe we take LaShawn McCoy for granted. Been in the league since 2009. He's played 12 or more games every season as a running back. 30 years old this year. What do you see for his future?
I still see a very bright future for him.
All right, here we go.
Exactly right. You can't take him for granted. Remember, he was with Philadelphia. Then he goes to Buffalo. They went through the playoff drought before last season. And the Eagles, they win a Super Bowl without him. So, yeah, we forget just how special he is. But I do think with his running style, he's got many more seasons left.
A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Matt Darr now. He'll take it away for the second time. This is taken around the 12. Able to power through. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get empty if they think they need to light a fire.
And that's caught at the 25. Trubisky hitting Robinson for a big one. 43 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
4 down, 4 down.
What do you had?
And they'll get him down right about the 20.
Last stop.
Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right, tight on the right.
What do you had?
Second down, here's Trubisky. On the right side, this is Miller. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
I see you.
First target, first catch at a 1st down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really like to be. He goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
A solid move on the run, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line. Down at the 2. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
I know
They struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
We're go, let's go!
Down, Trubisky. Under pressure now, he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Lorenzo Alexander in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Sack.
We talk about players blitzing all the time.
Let's go, run the ball after
I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
He didn't give anybody a chance to get there and stop.
No, I mean, that's really
And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Mitchell Trubisky, his second TD of the game and 16th of the season. And the Bears will extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
For me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists in their offense. And that's how they this drive. They need points big time.
He's got a man incomplete. It's Clay. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, but down there. That's good for 4. It's second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Let's get going on second down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Josh Bellamy, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Now let's go.
On third down, and that is incomplete. Kyle Fuller there defensively.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few triple routes.
You're right. They've had no room to breathe. And he fields it cleanly, shedding through the defense. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
4 down, check.
Now Trubisky on first down. Steps away to his left. Completion left side of the middle. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes,
and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming. The offense on third down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. With Howard. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Double tight.
Sit up. 180.
Now it's Trubisky.
Here they come.
That's caught by Howard.
3 down.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
Offense.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. Second and 3.
Double tight.
They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. Buying time to his left. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down.
This is where playing defense can be so frustrating. You have everything covered, yet he's able to pull it down and get past the marker to pick up the first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
86 to me.
That 1st and 10 is Trubisky. Flush to his right.
Let's go,
To the right side, complete to Miller. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. So, boy, that's already the 3rd they've burned here. They are out of timeouts now before we've even hit the 4th quarter. Now it's Trubisky. Forced out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots in the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver. Now just back the ball away as they did there.
The Bears on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be third and 5. Now Trubisky being chased out left. And that one incomplete. As we begin quarter number 4. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And that is incomplete. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Bills are going to get the football back. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, let's
and his throw's going to be incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver. And now it's second down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined. But sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys
here we go.
Pick them up,
Green 39.
Green
39.
Now Allen throwing on second down. Over the middle. And they'll get it up just
All right, now,
short
lucky
of the
56.
45
Lucky
at the
56.
16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
To the shotgun snap to Allen.
Twist.
His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time. And it's second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
Back to the air on second down. It's and this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. And the quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
319.
Throwing on first down is Allen.
Silver.
And back this one down to McCoy. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially
Hurry up, here we go.
skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. Throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense. You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Set! Green!
First and 10. This complete to the tight end Clay. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The Bills' passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to
here we go.
2-minute
Green,
offense,
39!
Two plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Throw right side, complete to Williams. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Here we go now.
And they'll get this down only to the 18. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5
Gun,
teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about
Throwing his Allen on 3rd. He's got a man. It's Williams. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw
let's
there,
go.
magnified.
3-19.
it was a huge get the 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, that's where you tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown.
Check.
Hurry up, here we go.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Watch Mike.
You know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This just a 24-yard attempt. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Onto the field now come the Bears. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, so possession fully overused. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
4 down.
And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. As they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
Odd. 5 down. Stand up in. Check 9.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Now the Bills will take another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Man left. We got 4.
What do you had?
Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him
All right, here we go.
time. You
Green, 39!
And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete.
You got it. Leopard!
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. He's back to throw. Offside completion to Jones. Now Jones is hit the football, and this is picked up by the Bears. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance, and probably were feeling pretty good about what was going on, and that was taken away from them by their own mistake.
Yeah, the opportunity squashed.
4 down, 4 down.
Trubisky wants to throw it. He's going to let this one go deep. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Double tight.
Now it's Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And this is caught.
They can't hold
and
it,
that
Coach.
could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Let's go.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Make sure you do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Parkey with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown.
Watch tight end. Tight end's
That's
right.
a no-no.
Tight end's
We'll
right.
see what they do here this go-around.
All right, here we go.
No.
Green!
The other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
So they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Right.
That
Inside
goes
right,
for
inside
a gain
right,
of
inside right.
31.
Hey.
And they'll get up
four
and
down.
spike it right at 40 seconds to go.
Watch tight end. 3 down, 3 down.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On second down, here's Allen. Open man there. That's Bellamy.
Yeah, baby.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Watch tight.
A
Tight end's
very
right.
solid
Watch tight.
gain of
Tight end's right.
27.
Three
And
down,
now
three
down
down.
to 24 seconds after the spike.
Tight left, tight left.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down.
Leopard.
Sacked back at the 29. Khalil Mack in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. And he'll start it with a spike here with 7 seconds left on the clock. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
I'll get him.
Set. Green 39.
One final try here for Allen. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none.
Yes, exactly right.
Hey.
What do you had, Hunt?
Trubisky going to throw. Going to let one fly for Robinson. And that's caught inside the 35. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Chicago, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for
this is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked in. Sports. Up next, Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions take on
EA Sports coverage of the NFL. Brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. They still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And now the Lions' defensive starters.
Finishing in the top 10 in the NFL with 12 sacks last year was Ziggy Ansah, and I just absolutely love his backstory. Went to BYU to run track, maybe play some basketball. Instead discovered a game he had never played before, American football. And now look at him, a perennial double-digit sack guy in the league.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. On the give, running right is Howard. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. And this is incomplete. He was looking for Zach Miller as tight end there, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. They snap it at 1. Now it's Trubisky. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
They go play action with Trubisky. They'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Flushed out right. It fights him off. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And Parkey's kick is good. And it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 6. Spinning away. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Johnson. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. A look at the starters now defensively for the Bears. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
But when you hold someone to just 6 points in a game, the feeling that you have among your team is you're not going to lose very many of those. That's the way to get it done.
Hey, boys, you got 4. 4 to
Set, lady.
check nickel.
From the gun on third down, Stafford. And Wilson has it.
3 down.
And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for Lions first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Strong left.
You ready, lady?
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here.
What's left? Here we go, T.
You set, lady.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Just 21 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're early in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now a play fake here on first down. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out. It looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Allen Robinson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead. And that was really just a great battle for that football on both sides. The result is a touchdown.
Ordinarily, I'd like to say it was a win-win, but it really wasn't, because the defender, while he was there with excellent coverage, he didn't get the benefit, did he?
But he's not going to get chewed up in film session, will he?
No, he was right there. They'll tell him, okay, of course you need to knock the ball away, but they won't be too upset with him. He did his job for the most part.
Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
3 down.
Set. 180.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And his first carry, he loses the football. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
All right, guys, double tight.
Set. Blue 60.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. To the left side here, Wilson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Stafford now to throw. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Second and 10, Stafford again. He hits his target. It's the tight end, Toilolo. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break.
Let's go.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. This is Howard on second down. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. The Bears on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
We got three, fellas, we got 3.
Now Trubisky back into his end zone. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Hey, 4 down.
From the 50, Stafford. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Out to the right here to Wilson. And they get this all the way inside Chicago's 10. A big play there just before halftime. 44 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Here's Reddick, and he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up second and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use The back end of the end zone, the sidelines, is extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Tight right. Set. Delaney.
We got 4.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And it's caught. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. Stafford barking out signals and trying to get his guys set quickly. Now Stafford. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? That's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This one taken from the 7. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the...
A hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Hey, gotta go. Double tight.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Trubisky. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete.
3 down.
2nd and 10 now. It's Trubisky. This is caught. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat-out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Try to punch it in with Howard. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Jordan Howard, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Nice hit, boy.
Second effort there. He was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Odd. 5 down.
They'll try and run it here. And he will get into the end zone again. And he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion.
Last stop.
Here's Parkey now set to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Set. Yellow 80. Yellow 80.
On second down, here's Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Set. Lady.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Runs through the contact. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, but you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments, or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Gotta go, gotta go.
Trubisky with the give to Howard. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Hey, we got 3, we got 3. 3 to go.
They pitch out to Howard. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Ezekiel Ansah. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
12 line.
A give to Howard. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Bears on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19.
180!
Here's Trubisky to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Crash.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
O'Donnell, he's on the punt as he gets this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shot of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory. And there's the pickup. You want on first down. All offenses say, you get me 4 on first down, we'll take it. How about if you get 5? They'll really be happy.
Here we go.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
We go set. Blue 80.
Here's Stafford now on second down. He hits Riddick underneath. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. They give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, and he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter of play.
You see me? You see me? They can't stop me out here.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Set. Blue 60.
From the gun, Stafford. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Desperation time for Stafford on fourth down. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Watch 10. Watch 10.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. He's going to air one out. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Allen Robinson with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bears turn that interception into a touchdown. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And Jones has it over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Over the middle, complete. That's Jones. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Yeah, this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
4 down, 4 down.
Set, lady.
Stafford on 3rd down. To the right and complete to Galladay.
That's it, baby.
And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
The left side completion to Jones. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Double tight.
22. Set. Red 80. 20 hot.
The first down carry here for Johnson. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Double tight.
Set. Yellow lady.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Luke Wilson, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Hey, we got...
Behind. Lock in.
On the toss play, Howard. Dancing away at the 30. And he's taken down inside the 30. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Now a play fake here on first down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. The coverage that time excellent by Nevin Lawson.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So now they'll come up on second and 10, once again from the 28.
Tight right.
They'll run it now. Out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. Oh, Trubisky going to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
The quick slant caught. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal.
Hey, boys, we got four down.
Now it's Trubisky. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Allen Robinson there to make the grab. And the Bears will extend their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. They're going to try and run. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game that 2-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Well, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Over the middle here to Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of down. On first down, it's Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And it's 3rd down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, it's Stafford. Must into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Now Allen Robinson and company gearing up to go again on offense. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't it?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. And he'll take this one down to the 36. A gain of 3, 2nd down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Even. 4 down. Even.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
Alert, alert! Alert, alert! Alert, alert! Alert, alert! On your head!
On 1st and goal, Howard. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Just a 4-play drive that time. And finishing it off with a touchdown run was Jordan Howard. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Set. Blue 80.
One last throw here for Stafford. He's going to let it fly. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The thing